I don't know about you, but I dislike being stuck in traffic, let alone just moving along in it. There are various kinds of traffic: foot or wheel traffic, vehicular, air, sea, even horseback and other animals, I'm sure. They're part of what's a non-stop global mass movement of people. Here is a cutout of planet Earth. Try to picture how as this blue ball rotates daily, all the non-stop traffic not only on each continent, but from one to the other and on the oceans as well. What exactly are being transported from place to place simultaneously? People, goods, culture, disease, languages, data, plants, animals, and capital. This is all known as globalization. In fact, capitalism is probably the main driving force behind why today many businesses and organizations operate internationally. Our world is interconnected and moving so fast in ways humanity has never experienced before. So, what does talking about globalization or capitalism have to do with something like ableism? It's important to ask and to assess all that capitalism demands of the human body and to explore whether or not all human body minds can adhere to those demands. The short answer is no. I'm Artie Mack, and over these next 5 videos, we'll be thinking about ableism and the kind of world that we live in where it thrives. We'll be looking at how the more capital-oriented and labor-intensive our society becomes, the more it demands monoculture and a way to remove people whose body minds aren't compatible. Let's get another image of globalization and see how much our society is based on movement and transportation. Sometimes I imagine street traffic as a giant conveyor belt. Many of us are moving along it from one place to another to fulfill a capitalist demand, the traditional 9 to 5 routine, however it may vary in actual hours. Expanding that concept, I think of factory lines and how people generally seem to always be on the move, assuming they have the able-bodied privilege to move, and oftentimes with a sense of urgency. In her essays War Talk and The Foreigner's Home, author Toni Morrison described globalization as the voluntary and involuntary distribution of workers, intellectuals, refugees, traders, immigrants, armies crossing oceans, continents, through custom offices, via hidden routes, speaking multiple languages of commerce, comparing globalization to manifest destiny. Morrison warned of globalization being a threat to our humanity, as internationalism can appear to mean one world, one people in a good way, but it has many consequences, monoculture being one of them, which we'll dive into later on. Unity under capitalism is not possible. We must look at what capitalism requires, one of them being that all human body minds function similarly. Capitalism cares about profit, not what's right or what's wrong. Profit. Is this why we're a labor-driven global society and shame bodies that don't or can't work? Taking what I've described, traffic and a giant conveyor belt all around planet Earth, now we have some ideas about globalization, fueled by capitalism. This machine with metal gears and pipes working in unison, a giant factory line represented by the continuing movement of people all around the world. Now let's talk about people with disabilities. What does capitalism require of human body minds? Can all of us be made into gears that help the machine run the way it's designed by those in charge? Can all human body minds labor equally? And do they all have the same accessible means of transportation and movement? Again, the answers are no. When people are, metaphorically speaking, labeled as a misshapen gear, or, realistically speaking, diagnosed as defective, and therefore subject to all sorts of ridicule and oppression because they don't fit within the machine as a neurotypical able-bodied laborer, and face obstacles due to their disabled body mind and or neurodivergence, I'd say that sounds a lot like ableism. Which can feel like being stuck in traffic.